Hello friends and welcome to another colour along. Today we are colouring Three Bears, which is a page from Asleep, the Sweet and Simple Colouring Book. It's a pretty simple one, but it's going to be a whole lot of fun. And of course I'm going to use my Ohuhu alcohol markers today, and I'm going to kick off with the bears. I'm going to start with this little bear here. And I think I'm going to start out with this colour called Red Grey. And I'm going to do red grey on the tips of his feet. I'm going to give him red grey ears. And a little red grey snout. And while that's nice and wet, I'm going to bring in a colour called Reddish Brass. I'm just going to work those two colours together. They're similar, so it's not going to be much of a blend problem. There's similar colours that are just like tonally apart. They seem to blend beautifully. Especially when you want to do little subtle things like give a bit of life to a little bear. So I'm going to bring back the red grey and put some red grey here up on top of the leg, maybe even around his back. Now I'm going to bring back that reddish brass, just blend that in beautifully with that red grey. And I'm going to bring this colour in called Chestnut Brown, because he needs a little brown nose. Okay, that's my little bear, and we're happy with him. Might just bring in a little bit of pink for his ears. And I have here a Mellow peach. And while I'm here, I'm going to Mellow peach all of their ears. Right, I'm going to move on from the baby bear, and I'm going to attack the mother bear, and I'm going to do that with this colour called Mushroom White. I'm going to give her a nice light belly. And I think I'm also going to give her some mushroom white on the top of her head. On her ears, to that eye there. Yeah, I think a little nice highlight on the back of Mushroom White would be good. And I'm going to bring in, well, let's do this down here as well. And then I want to use a colour called Hazelnuts. Which once again is tonally a bit darker. But along the same lines as Mushroom White, so it should blend nicely. Not that I want too much of a blend. I'm quite happy to leave those light highlights sort of naturally blend. Now I do have a sheet of paper and a sheet of acetate under this page so that I don't let those markers bleed through. Alright, I'm going to do a little bit of that colour there because I've missed the foot up the top there. I'm going to bring back my mushroom white, and colour in that tip of that foot, and maybe just do a little bit of judicious blending. And I'm putting away my mushroom white, and I'm going to look at the last bear, and I'm going to make that one a bit darker. I'm going to use a colour called Honey, which is appropriate because we have 3 jars of honey here. And this is a colour called Honey. I'm breaking out all my browns today, all my earthy tones. I thought I'd embrace it. Now this bear's well covered by the other bear. So I'm going to put away my honey and bring out tan. Tan is, once again, a little bit darker. And I think let's bring back that honey, just do some blending. I was just checking the paper was on top. This is blending. I don't think I've used these colours much, so they're chock full of juice, and they're blending like champions. So we've got a darker bear and a lighter bear, and of course the baby bear is a mix of the two, and all those warm, lovely, earthy hues. All right, let's look at those leaves and flowers that are flowing around. First of all, I'm going to grab my pastel yellow, which is a nice bright yellow. Just going to grab that honey and make it nice and yellow at the beginning. And I'm going to start, these little things could be leaves, they could be drops of honey. Whatever your imagination tells you they are, isn't wrong. And I think we're in sort of autumn time, aren't we? So I'm going to tip these leaves with that pastel yellow, do the little flower middles. And what I love about these Sweet and Simple books is if you're just in the mood to do a really fun colour and you haven't got a lot of time, you can just jump in, go for it, and have a whole lot of fun. Right, I'm going to bring some green in. I've got a lemon green, and I just want to sort of blend that lemony green into those leaves that are yellowing. Oh, it's not lemon, it's lemon green. Yeah, that's what it is. Actually, doing these all the same colour, I was going to do some nice and orange. You could do that. You could pick out some in yellows and greens and some in oranges and reds. And I'm going to bring in some celery yellow. And I'm going to bring back my pastel yellow because I want to get the middles of these flowers like my others. All right, let's look at those flowers. Let's talk about pale blue-grey. I don't want to go overboard with the colour, but a nice lavender touch could be nice. Now this illustration, if you don't have Asleep, is part of the December Colour Club pack, which is all the illustrations I'll be colouring in December. And you can find that at rjhampson.com, along with all of the monthly packs that I've done for 2025. So if you want to colour along with everything that I'm colouring along with on the YouTube channel, you can grab those packs and colour along with them. Now this is a colour called Light Hydrangea, and that looks nice and sweet. I'm going to grab back my pale blue grey because I've got these spoons, and they're like obviously silver spoons, but I'm going to make them pale blue grey because I don't really want to bring, at this stage, grey into the picture. All right, what we've got left is some noses. So we used chestnut brown. I'm going to carry that through to these other ones, but I'm going to leave a little bit of a, oh no, let's colour them in. We can bring back highlights later, can't we? Well, we've got less left of these 3 jars. I was wondering about turning them into glass jars, but I think I might leave them as ceramic jars. Which means, I guess, we can bring in some ceramic colours. And why don't we use the colours we used for our bears? So this is the little bear, and this is the little pot. So we'll go with the reddish brass. And then the red-grey. And I think the bear in the back is the big bear. This is, I guess, the mother bear, the father bear, the baby bear. So what I'm going to do is bring in hazelnuts. And then a little bit of mushroom white. And finally, I'm going to bring in tan and honey for that last jar. Let's start with honey. This is the lighter one. I'm hoping, yes, it is. And then I'm going to bring the tan in. I have here a neutral grey 040 because I want to add in a little bit of shadow, whilst I'm also worried that I might destroy everything that looks so pretty. But I think this could be just a little touch. And because it's a neutral grey, it shouldn't affect our colours. Like if I was using a cool grey, that would come with a bit of a blue tinge, which might not work. But hopefully the neutral grey will just ride over. And give us the darker colours underneath. And we'll just add a little bit to these jars. And I'm just contemplating whether I do some highlights, but I don't think I will. I think I'm quite happy with that as it is. Well, as I said, it's a nice quick one for today. You know, it's a very sweet one nonetheless. Look at those 3 bears with their honey jars. Very, very cute. Well, as I mentioned, Asleep, or the Colour Club pack from rjhampson.com. Remember to like and subscribe. Leave your comments below. And for now I'm going to say goodbye, but I will no doubt see you in another video. See you later, guys.